Today I fucked up by giving one of my students a ride home. So this happened about 8 years ago. I was a junior high teacher at the time. I've built a rapport with most of my students and their parents, and they have come to respect them and me. Well, one day I was finishing up in my classroom, grading papers, going over the next day's lessons, etc. A female student came in and told me she'd missed the bus and that her parents wouldn't be able to pick her up for at least another half hour, and that she didn't really have any other family that she could rely on to give her a ride home, and her friend wasn't answering the phone. I called her parents to let them know the situation, and they told me it would be all right with them if I gave her a ride home this one time. I called my wife and let her know why I'd be late, and proceeded to take the student to her house, and I went home immediately afterwards. Fast forward about 3 days later, and I was called in by the principal, and he and the superintendent sat me down and told me what I'd done was against school policy and it was highly inappropriate and sets a dangerous precedent, or some nonsense like that. I told them I'd called her parents and they said it was okay. That, however, didn't seem to matter because I didn't have any proof besides my word, and they suspended me for 2 weeks pending investigation. Well, that didn't sit right well with either my wife or myself. So I all but begged to come back, and they decided to bring me back, but the investigation would still continue. Cut to about a week and a half later, and they told me that because what I did was technically against school policy, they had grounds to fire me. So they did. I finished up the semester and left on good standing with my students and colleagues. I don't blame the student because the circumstances that led to her situation were out of her control. But I do suppose I should have thought of a different way to handle it. Okay. Either way, I did get a pretty decent severance package, so I suppose there's that. I also asked a lawyer if I had a decent case for wrongful termination, but he said that even if I did, it would cost more than it's worth to pursue. So, if I had to attribute a lesson to all of this, it would probably be that no good deed goes unpunished, and that there will always be those who judge before they get all the information. Oh my God! I gave one of my junior high students a ride home because she didn't have anyone to pick her up, and the powers that saw fit to fire me because it was against policy. I cannot believe they would fire him after giving her a ride home. Like, are you freaking insane? He did everything right. He called the parents. He asked if it was okay. He called his wife. He told her what he was doing. Like, I mean, and I understand why there's so much stigmatism about this with the school, because there's been a lot of cases where girls say things have happened and it's he said, she said, and blah, 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 whatever. I read a story a long time ago about a 16-year-old girl saying that their teacher did something to them, and this man killed himself. And she came out and said it was all a lie. She should literally be in jail for fucking murder at that point. She made him kill himself over what she said, and it didn't even fucking happen. They just took her word for it. Like, that's just fucking ridiculous. Anyone could say that and just ruin a person's life. Like, any student, like one of my nieces could go to a fucking superintendent and be like, oh, one of my teachers touched me, and ruin that motherfucker's life. To have that kind of power, I mean, it's ridiculous. And for the man to have killed himself and her be like, oh, it was just a joke. I just said it. It's just, you deserve to be punished. You deserve to be fucking punished. You cannot say something like that and ruin an entire person's fucking life and think that that's going to be okay and that you should get no punishment for that. That woman, that child, that little girl should have been put in jail for fucking murder, for attempted murder or some sort of murder charge. She caused that man to kill himself. That's like cyberbullying. You cause a kid to kill themselves, you're still getting in trouble. It's the same fucking thing. Just because they looked at him differently because they thought he touched her, like, he didn't. I mean, you're automatically assumed guilty. Automatically. Because why not? Because every man is like that. No. No. People are so ass backwards, I'm telling you. This is why we say guilty and, innocent until proven guilty. I almost said it backwards because that's how it seems. But you are supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. You have to have proof for a reason, okay? That guy lost his whole ass life because of it.